This is my recap and reaction to Little People Big World Season 25, Episode 3, called We'll Do It My Way. And worth noting that Tori and Zach announced this week that they're quitting the show, and actually they haven't been asked back, so I don't know if they're quitting or just not being asked back, but they want to stop for a lot of reasons, including that their kids just don't like to film certain things. And so Little People Big World's future is really questionable right now. I honestly think season 25 could be the last season ever. Could be. Episode 3 starts about a month after Zach has recuperated from his brain surgery to fix his shunt, and Tori is randomly showing Jackson a trick to stand on one leg longer. Yes, really, this is the opening scene. Then Zach is like, "You guys, go get Mom's suitcase in the garage." And I'm like, hold up, suitcase? Where is this girl going? It seems like, because it was just like last episode that he had surgery, it seems soon. But yes, Tori, we learn, is going on a girls' trip to California. I'm pretty sure Disneyland, but they didn't say this on camera for obvious reasons, because she gets heat from fans when she goes to Disneyland without the kids. So for a few days, and she's leaving Zach by himself with the 3 kids. Yes, somewhat fresh after his surgery. I mean, at this point, he feels really good, but this is the type of stuff that gets Tori some hate from the fans. I guarantee you, some fans are incensed that she left Zach like this. But then again, she never had a girls' trip, and she has gone through so much. So even Zach says she deserves it. And so naturally, Tori leaves instructions for Zach on this like huge piece of paper, like how to cook lasagna, things like that. And Zach is going to be challenged with 3 kids, including a baby, on his own. She says that her version of clean and his are not the same. And Zach says that he grew up in a fun house. And yes, we all remember that the roll-off house was not the cleanest, but probably the most fun. Tori has pre-prepared lunch notes for Jackson, and Zach, on top of everything, needs to remember to put them in there and not forget. Zach looks petrified, and apparently he's never been alone with the 3 kids ever. And so this is his storyline for the episode, struggling in the chaos. Amy and her friend go to lunch, and apparently Amy says that the bromance between Matt and Chris is alive and well. They spent guys' time at the cabin on Roll-Off Farms. Like, ew. Talking about what? Why have they become so close? It's just weird to me. And Amy says she told Chris, just don't become best friends. But honestly, I think that ship has sailed. They're like best friends now, Matt and Chris. Amy has the bright idea, basically, I'm assuming for a storyline, I think, to have a charity event for the Dwarf Association of America at Roll-Off Farms. And of course, this means she'll be working with Matt and Karen. How convenient for the show. This is a guaranteed conflict. And immediately, Amy starts talking about how she's heading the event. She's in charge. And there's just major foreshadowing that Matt and Amy are for sure going to butt heads and have a blow up and push each other's buttons, fall into old patterns, shall we say, while Karen and Chris will probably just be kind of awkward. Actually, Chris rarely sticks up for Amy in these cases, and that's also irritating. Next scene is basically Zach trying to take care of 3 kids by himself. He wakes up at 6:50 a.m. to make breakfast and crack like 14 eggs. He says that he's more efficient than Tori because he just lets things go. But the kids are moody because he doesn't create this cute morning, he says, that Tori creates. But he seems pretty successful. He makes them all breakfast. He fixes Jackson's hair for picture day. Later in the day, the producer asks about the lunch notes, and Zach is like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot. Which honestly is totally understandable. He ends up forgetting every single day. So Karen and Matt visit their new house being built, and the walls are finally coming up. Matt announces that there's a bunk room for the grandkids in the new house for them to come over, which is kind of sad. I mean, his grandkids are mostly the kids of Jeremy and Zach, who he has tension with. So, not sure how often they're going to bring their kids to the bunk room, but Matt's dream is to read to all the grandkids a story while they're in the bunk beds. Honestly, he has some work to do with his family members for that to happen. It's kind of like Robin's porch fantasy from Sister Wives. Then, to my shock, Zach has the guts to bring 3 kids furniture shopping after school when they're tired. This is a recipe for disaster. The kids start fighting over a lazy boy chair, and Lila has a meltdown. And he ends up leaving without a couch and says, "I'll probably come back by myself," which is very relatable. At one point, he's walking with Lila outside, and she is wearing her baby brother's sweatshirt, her pants are inside out, and her boots are on the wrong feet. Classic, right? Zach tried his best, but I think his Achilles heel was dressing the kids and getting them ready, maybe. I mean, it is a lot to handle. Then Amy, Matt, Karen, and Chris meet up to discuss the DAAA event at the farm, and Amy is asserting herself. She wants Matt to know she's in charge. She's like, "Let's nail down a date now. Okay, June 24th. They talk about using the wedding area and what the event will look like. Matt says that his safety net is Chris, and if he gets into a disagreement with Amy about the event, Chris will solve it. Honestly, Chris and Matt are getting too close for comfort or something. They're goofing around, laughing during the meeting like little boys, and almost like Amy's like the strict teacher and they're goofing off. I don't know, it's weird. Chris needs to check his loyalty, all I gotta say. And Tori finally returns, and all is well in the world. They all missed her, and Zach confesses that he forgot all the lunch notes, and Tori says that she even forgot one today. Honestly, Tori and Zach talk about how they're such a great team, and Tori says it feels great to have her body to herself while she's away and to not have kids wanting stuff from her at all times. I think it is important for moms to get time away from the kids to recharge, and good for Zach for supporting Tori fully with that even after his surgery. I think their marriage is top notch. Let's see if this is the last season. I mean, I feel like they're reaching for the storylines, if you know what I mean. Some years, I'm sure their lives are just normal and not that dramatic. It's kind of hard to, I'd find it really hard, especially just raising a family. What if there's no drama? What are we going to talk about, All right, so thank you for joining me, and stay tuned for more Little People Big World updates, news, and recaps.